call it M1. How cool is that?
What's up guys? So Apple introduced the M1 MacBook Pro last year in November, and although their custom M1 processor has got a lot of praise for its performance, both in terms of speed and battery life, the MacBook didn't include any design changes which we've been eagerly waiting for since so long. That is going to change in 2021, with rumors suggesting that Apple has a major MacBook Pro design refresh in the works. So without further ado, let's get into the details, and for your reference, the rumors in this video have been sourced from Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo and Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, both of whom usually provide accurate insight into Apple's plans. Alright, so to start off, Apple has both the new 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro models in the works. The 14-inch model will replace the current 13.3-inch model, while the 16-inch model will replace the existing 16-inch version that's currently available. For the revamped 14-inch model, it's likely that the overall casing size will remain similar to the 13-inch MacBook Pro, with the increase in display size coming largely from the reduction in the top and side bezels of the machine. There may be a slight increase in physical size, but not enough to notice the difference. What will be standing out though is the design changes. The new models will feature a flat-edged design that's similar to the iPhone 12 with no curved edges like current models. Sources confirm that, but the other information suggests that the flat-edge design may not be too much of a difference from the current design. It says that the upgraded models will look mostly similar to the current models, but will feature minor design changes. So we'll need to wait and see just how significant these design changes on the overall design of the MacBook turn out to be. Apple is also stepping up the game in terms of the displays they'll use on these new laptops. The new MacBook Pro models will feature display improvements in the form of brighter, higher contrast panels, and that comes from Apple using mini LED displays, which are essentially almost OLED displays but without OLED issues like screen burn-in. They are also usually much more color-accurate panels, marking a significant improvement in overall display quality. Mini LED technology will also allow for a thinner and lighter design, while also offering many OLED-like benefits like I said, such as improved wide color gamut, high contrast and dynamic range, and truer blacks. So with Mini LED, we'll be seeing major improvements, not only in terms of the actual screens on the laptops, but hopefully it also translates to better battery life. Getting to the inside, the new MacBook Pros will use the same heat pipe design we see on the current 16-inch MacBook Pro. Apple revamped the thermal system of the 16-inch MacBook Pro by increasing the size of the heat pipe, adding thermal pads, and increasing the size of the heatsink by around 35%. This new thermal system will allow for increased computing power, thanks to improved airflow and heat management, which bodes well for the performance of the Apple Silicon chips that are expected to be included. Talking about Apple Silicon, the new entry-level 13.3-inch MacBook Pro already has the M1 chip. And of course, the new MacBook Pro models in 2021 will get upgraded Apple Silicon chips too. Apple is not expected to release MacBook Pro models with Intel chips, slowly phasing Intel chips out of the notebook line entirely. They're working on higher-end Apple Silicon chips, and one that is rumored is the M1X chip that will have as many as 16 power cores and 4 efficiency cores. And if you don't understand the cores and all that, what you need to know is that the rumored M1X chip would destroy any Intel CPU in terms of performance. There's also new GPU technology in the works, with Apple designing 16 and 32 core GPU options, some of which could be used in the new MacBook Pro models but are not yet confirmed for any of the new MacBooks. Moving on, in 2016, Apple released the new MacBook Pro design, which did away with all the ports except the new Type-C port and a 3.5mm headphone jack. I think they realized their mistake, and as the next generation MacBook Pro models are expected to feature a full-size HDMI port and an SD card reader, providing an easier way for people to transfer photos captured with cameras, drones, and similar devices. Given Apple's emphasis on USB-C and the slim design of the MacBook Pro lineup, it's not likely we are going to see the return of USB-A, but Ming-Chi Kuo has said that the new machines will have enough ports so most users may not need to purchase additional dongles. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Along with the additional ports, the new machines are expected to bring MagSafe back to the Mac lineup. MagSafe connectors were used from, I think, 2006 to 2016 until Apple replaced the MagSafe connector with the USB Type-C connector. But now it looks like we're returning back to the MagSafe design. If you aren't familiar with MagSafe, basically it's a magnetic charger pin that snaps onto the laptop and prevents the entire laptop from falling over if someone trips over the cable. Which is great and has always been great, so it's nice to see MagSafe coming back. But as it usually works, some things come back and some leave. So in 2016, Apple introduced the Touch Bar to the Macs, providing a small OLED display where physical function keys used to be located. They had massive plans for the Touch Bar and envisioned it being an adaptable mini display that offered customizable controls and different functions on a per app basis. But the Touch Bar never seemed to really catch on with consumers, and Apple knew that after some years. So the Touch Bar will be removed in the 2021 MacBook Pro models and will be replaced with physical function keys. Government from Bloomberg has confirmed that Apple has tested versions of the MacBook Pro that do not have a Touch Bar, and it seems mostly confirmed that they're doing away with the Touch Bar entirely. So to conclude with the rumors, the upcoming MacBooks almost seem like Apple is doing everything that the consumers have ever wanted, and to be honest, that's not a very Apple thing to do. From the design changes, the addition of much better mini LED displays, stacking in the insanely powerful M1X chipset, bringing back many ports including the HDMI, the SD card slot and MagSafe charging, to removing and replacing the Touch Bar with physical function keys. Like, what else do you need the MacBook Pro to have then? It seems almost perfect, and I'm eagerly looking towards how they'll pan out in the market after the expected launch in the third quarter of this year. Alright, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and with that said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.